Dear colleagues, dear participants, we are really happy to meet you here, not online, but here at present. And today we have 4 participants. You are already the best of the best. So I hope you're going to have confidence here to present your works. We have already read all your jobs and all your works. They are great. So our section is called Young Explorer, and let's start with a presentation from our Deputy Headmistress, Alexandra Vyacheslaovna.
Thank you very much. So, I'm so happy and excited to welcome you all here at our school at this conference where our young explorers will present their research works, their research projects, and I hope we will all enjoy, all participants, experts, and moderators, of course, we will all enjoy today the process. Because as Maxim Alexandrovich has rightfully mentioned, you are already the winners. You are already the best of the best. You are not competing today. You are presenting your research results. That's why please feel confident, feel free, feel relaxed, and try to enjoy the process. And I would like to say a special word of gratitude to the research advisors who have guided, who have supported our young researchers throughout the whole process, throughout the whole way of their research. And I think half of the success is due to them, to their help. So thank you very much. Thank you, dear research advisors, dear teachers, and dear participants. And we hope that it's not the last time that you are participating in our conference. We hope to see you over and over again every year. So thank you very much and enjoy the process.
Thank you very much, Alexandra Vyacheslaovna. Okay, and we are ready to start. Please, participants, remember that you have only 7 minutes, and if you are going to be a little bit more than 7 minutes, before it's over, I'm going to show you 1 minute, so it means you're going to wrap it up and sum up your work, okay? And please, of course, we are going to have some questions. Don't be discouraged. Answer by your heart. And we wish you good luck. Let's start, please. We're going to start by the list. And first, let's welcome Fedor. Let's hold here. You're going to be here because. So, okay. And you're going to use this mouse, or you can just ask. Yes, Maria Yevgenievna, to.
You'll switch it by yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
As you wish. Where is the presentation?
It's open already. This one is for you.
And just 1 minute, we will show the presentation for the jury who is online today. Yes.
Hello, my name is Fedor, and I will tell about my research work, Genship and English at school. Computer games are getting deeper into the lives of every children. The ability to solve problems, get know characters, communicate online, attract modern children. I was interested in how computer games can affect the learning of English, so I decided to choose this research work. The task of our research you can see on the slide. I think that the student can learn English better with the help of the Genship computer game. So the goal of the research to determine the educational possibilities of the Genship computer game and learning English. The task of our research you can see on the slide. Computer games are complex mechanisms that have a long way gone information. Learning about Genshin Impact was created in June 2019. The genre of game is action-adventure. The plot tells about a traveler who walks through countless worlds to find his lost twin. The game supports English, Japanese, Korean, and voicing by dub speakers gives the players the opportunity to see live speech, not computerized one. In this section, we will consider the possibility of learning English and increasing interest in the true use of the Genshin Impact computer game. You will be able to increase vocabulary by reading and listening fantasy, everyday and specialized vocabulary like kinds of weapons, battle spells, etc. Improve listening perception by listening English dubbing voice by professional actors, and so on. We conducted a memo on the use of computer games as educational resource that will help students to spend time usefully while playing computer games. You can see it on the slide. The English language of computer games is a special form of English that differs from classical English. A large amount of lexical material is represented by special vocabulary, battles, gun talents, artifacts, abilities, etc. We made a selection of household cliche phrases from the Genshin Impact computer game that can be used in everyday communication. Look at the slide. Quote all players to learn different sets of lexical units and grammatical constructions, including horizons during the game. In the practical part of our research, we conducted a survey among the students 6A to understand whether the Genshin Impact computer game has educational possibilities. According to the results, we found that Genshin Impact computer games are of interest to a large number of students of grade 6A. All of them think that this game help in learning English. Based on the data, we determined that Genshin Impact computer game has educational possibilities. Based on the material of the Genshin Impact computer game, we have developed a communicative game for improving speaking skills of students. The communicative game we have proposed can be played on different levels, from word to text. The practice of speaking based on pictures will help students describe the appearance of characters, talk about the abilities with the available skill necessary for successful communication in English. So, using computer games makes it much easier, faster, and more stronger to learn English, develop memory, attention, imagination, and the ability to find patterns. The benefits of computer games for language learning can be compared with the benefits of reading books, either original and watching movies, but only if there are a lot of dialogues in the games, text that the player listens to and reads, and does not squander. Thank you for attention.
Thank you. Do you have any questions, Julie?
No, I don't have any questions. I have a question.
Okay, maybe I'll ask one. Tell me, please, what are the most popular phrases from this project, which you remember now?
Like the functions in this game is like battle pass or malitvas, settings.
Okay, but maybe some useful phrases which you can use for speaking.
No, like battles, fighting, or something else.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe you can name some games that, with help of them, with which you can continue your exploring. Like, what game you will choose for another project, for example, to develop your English skills?
Like another action adventures game, sandbox games of genre like MMO games like this.
Okay, so next year we're waiting for you for the next special game. Am I right? Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay, thank
Looking
you.
forward to it. Thank you very much. Okay, great start. Now we are ready to listen to our next participant. Let's welcome Frolova Alena.
Is it possible for mom to click?
Yes, of course, of course. Let's check. Easy. Okay. Mm-hmm. Can knowledge of English help?
If you're ready, you can start.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Alena Frolova from school number 100, and I would like to start my presentation with Chinese saying. To learn a language is to have one more window from which you look at the world. The title of my research is Can Knowledge of English Help to Study Chinese? Many people in Russia study English at school. As to Chinese language, we can't say so. Only about 70,000 people all over Russia can speak and understand Chinese. Relevance. I have been studying English from the first grade, and from the fifth grade, I started learning Chinese too. We found a teacher who teaches it on the basis of English, and in real life it turned out to be easier. I was interested in such a phenomenon and decided to explore similarities and differences between two languages, especially in reading and writing. Hypothesis. Learning Chinese is easier if you know English at elementary level and higher. Does it mean that there are many similarities between them? Object of study. English and Chinese languages. Subject of study. Similarities and differences in learning approaches, speaking, reading, and writing. Speaking, reading, and grammar in English and Chinese. Purpose of work. The study identical and non-identical aspects of two completely different languages. History of languages. English is a West Germanic language that originated in Britannia between 5th and 7th centuries AD. English turned into the language we know after the Great Vowel Shift, which lasts from the 16th century to the present day. The great William Shakespeare is considered to be the founder of the English literary language. Shakespeare invented many new words. Modern English remains one of the most influential and important languages in the world. It is extremely flexible, stable, and easily adaptable to other languages. Today, about 1.5 billion people speak English, and it is official in 54 countries. In the modern world, the internet community, people of science and culture mainly communicate in English. Chinese is one of the oldest languages in the world. It was originally the language of the Han people. The complex social-linguistic concept of Chinese combines modern Chinese and its dialects. Many of the dialects do not have a written language. Chinese is one of the main and most widely spoken languages in the world. It is one of the 6 working languages of the UN. Currently, over 1 billion people in the world speak Chinese. For several years now, Chinese has been competing with English in terms of popularity in the world. Since 2002, the Ministry of Education of the People's Republic of China and the state leading working group of teaching of Chinese for foreigners have begun to establish structures outside of China to promote the Chinese language and culture. In March 2004, humanitarian centers organized abroad were officially named Confucius Institutes. Currently, there are 21 Confucius Institutes and classes in Russia. In St. Petersburg, the Confucius Institute is located on Lieutenant Schmidt embankment. In Russia, according to the 2022 census, 70,722 people speak Chinese. Learning language, similarities and differences. Perhaps at the beginning of learning a particular language, you ask yourself, where to start? In English, as in learning many other languages, you need to start with the alphabet. In Chinese, with tones. After that, in both languages, of course, words like hello, bye, thank you, questions such as how are you, how old are you, what is your name, etc. And after studying all these, it will be possible to proceed to the rest. At the first glance, you might think that Chinese and English are very different languages To a certain extent, this is true, but in addition to the differences between these languages, there are also similarities. Similarities. Chinese and English have the same word order in a sentence: subject, verb, object. In both languages, adverbs of frequency are placed between the subject and the predicate. Both in English and in Chinese, the sounds are ya, you, yetk are carried out for the letter Y. In Chinese, there is such a thing as pinyin. This is a pronunciation with a tone. In English, only in some cases with a different sound. Differences. English has an alphabet that has 26 letters, while Chinese does not have a single letter, only individual words. Also, in English, there are words yes and no, but in Chinese, there are not. There's only pu, a particle not, and sin, which means okay. In this connection, the questions can be answered simply. You need to answer by saying the same sentence without a question word or replacing it. In English, there is quite a lot of irregular past tense verbs, 470, while in Chinese there are none at all. In Chinese, the particle le is used to indicate the past tense, and in English, there is an ending ed for this with regular verbs. It is very important that there are many counting words in Chinese. For example, ge, counting words for people, y for money and accessories, tian for rooms and the others, but there are no such words in English. Chinese tone. It is noted that in Chinese language one must have a keen ear, since the phonetics of this language is extremely complex, because it has tones. Tone is the melodic pattern of the voice, which is characterized by a change in pitch. Chinese is much more difficult in terms of pronouncing English or French. To pronounce a word, you need to sing it correctly. If you confuse the tone, you can make mistake. For example, the words for s and that s in Chinese differ only in tone. Lexical minimum of learning English and Chinese. The question often arises is, how many words do you need to know to communicate fluently? According to statistics, a native English speaker actively uses from 15 to 40,000 words. It is vocabulary that person use in reading or writing, active vocabulary. Passive vocabulary is approximately 100,000 words. Based on numerous studies, it has been revealed that 3,000 words is the minimum necessary for talking on general topics. To speak truly fluently, you need to know about 5 to 6,000 words. Like most scripts, Chinese writing does not consist of letters, but of hieroglyphs. Knowledge of 500 most frequent characters is enough to understand 80% of ordinary modern Chinese text. Knowledge of 1,000 and 2,400 characters allows you to understand 91 and 99% of such text, respectively. 3,000 characters are enough to read newspapers and non-specialized magazines. The most complete dictionary of Chinese characters, Zhenhua Zishai, Sea of Chinese Characters, edition 1994, contains 85,568 words, characters. Conclusions. Chinese is unlikely to replace English as the main foreign language. It is inconvenient to speak and write in it. The culture associated with it is close to outsiders, and the Chinese themselves love everything foreign. They do not speak the same language to order to give it to the world. Learn English. It is easier, more popular, and no less interesting than the language of Confucius. But if you still study Chinese, then it's better to do it on the basis of English, because there are many similarities between them, some of which we listed earlier in the report. This language has a similar grammar. The second foreign language is easier to learn than the first one, because you roughly understand the language learning system, understand intonation, understand how it is easier for you to learn the language, and you already know what difficulties may arise. Learning Chinese with English helps you improve your knowledge of English language itself and learn a lot about it. I would like to finish my presentation with Confucius' words that mean a journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. 天离之行，始于足下. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you, Alena. I have a question. Are there any easy parts of learning Chinese, or is it very difficult? What do you think?
Chinese, it's difficult language.
Yes. Okay, it's clear. But maybe something easy in Chinese. What about maybe some
Chinese,
easy words or grammar?
Chinese have no maybe.
What about grammar? Is it difficult?
Can you say in Russian?
No, it's better to say in English. What about grammar? So for students in English, grammar is a little bit difficult. What about grammar in Chinese? What is?
It's also difficult because it has what I said. It has counting words. You should use it because it's very important part of language.
Thank you.
Do you have any plans for your future career?
No, I haven't.
Maybe something connected with languages?
Yes, I would like to learn Chinese and English and maybe work with these languages.
And what culture of languages is closer to you now, Chinese or English?
English.
Okay, why?
Because English I study from first grade and only from fifth grade I start learning Chinese.
Okay, thank you very much.
I know English better.
Are there any plans to learn one more language?
Stop it.
Or it's enough?
3 languages enough, I think.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Dear colleagues, we have 2 more participants. Let's welcome now Kozlova Vera Kirillovna. And the presentation is the history of mountain bus.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
There is a mouse here. You can click it. Okay. So if you're ready, you can start. The topic of my research work is the iconic London bus and its legendary color. Why did I choose it? Actually, London bus is one of the main symbols of London. But how many people know the story standing behind it? I have talked in advance with my classmates and found out that they know almost nothing about London bus, except that is one of the symbols of London. So this is a lack of knowledge among my peers in this subject. So topic of my research is relevant because it will be interesting not only for me but for my family, my classmates and friends.
No, it's finished. On the left button, the left.
Thanks. Hypothesis of my research. I assume that the London bus is red so that the inhabitants of the city can easily notice it in rainy and foggy weather. The purpose of my research is to analyze the sources of information and find out why the red color was chosen for the legendary London bus. To achieve this purpose, I found and learned information about London bus. analyzed literary sources and information for the internet sites. After that, I conducted a survey among my classmates, analyzed its result, and draw conclusion. Also, I also present the results of my work to my classmates during class meeting, and they were demonstrated in the whole newspaper prepared for the Week of England at our school. Sorry. My work has two main parts, theoretical and practical. The practical part helps to understand how and why the London bus appeared, what period were in its development. Now I will show quickly the main stage in its history. It all started with horse-drawn carriages, omnibuses. In 1847, double-decker buses appeared. The third period, engine buses from 1880s. Roadmaster. The Master of London Roads is the most famous London bus appeared a first time. Finally, the last page on history of London bus is Boris bus or Boris Master. Their appearance is connected with Boris Johnson, the mayor of London. Organize the research. In my practical part, I conducted a survey. 29 people, my classmates, took part in it. The first question, what do you associate London with? As you can see from result table, 10 out of 29 boys and girls associate London with a red bus. The second question was about the most discussed issue in its history, about its red color. I received the following answer. The British love the red color. From them, it is special. 5 students gave this answer because that color is on the British flag. 10 students. 12 students suppose buses are red to be more visible in bad weather. 3 students have no idea why the buses are red. As you can see, the most of the students believe that the bus was red from the beginning, so that people could easily see it in bad weather. This point of view also coincides with my hypothesis. While working on my topic, I studied different sources of information about the color of London bus. Surprisingly, the reason of the appearance of London bus was completely different. Competition in the transport industry and the desire of the largest operator, London General Omnibus Company, to stand out from the background of others by using the brightest color. That was the reason of appearance of red buses. Thus, my hypothesis was not confirmed. To conclude, I would like to say it was my first experience of research work. It was interesting for me to work in this field. and I believe I have achieved my purpose.
Thank you, Vera.
Thank you. Thank you for attention. I'm ready to answer your questions.
Any questions for it?
Yeah, I have a question. Tell me, please, you have started this work, you started studying, and what did you think about the origins of London Bus before your studying?
Sorry, can you repeat your
What
answer?
did you think about the London Bus, about how it appeared before your studying?
Uh,
Like or now you know how it appeared, how it has appeared before. But what did you think at the beginning?
I'm not sure, but I assume the populations of London increasing, and the needs of transport and the need of transport. Uh, Sorry,
It's okay, don't worry. You conducted a survey, right?
yes.
And you had some answers like, from your classmates, and they had they had options, some options. Like they had some, so they said that they think that it is a popular color, that British people like this color, and so on. And what did you think before you started?
You can remind your hypothesis.
Yes.
What was your idea at first about the bus? Why was it red? What did you think?
I think
Okay.
I think bus was red because inhabitants of the city can easily notice it in bad weather.
Okay, yeah, no,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
And last but not the least,
Yes, last but not the least, familiar face. Okay, Корж Елизавета Андреевна. Okay, let's check how you fit here. Okay, do you remember? You will click. Okay. Okay, if you're ready, you can start.
Okay. Hello, dear members of jury. My name is Lisa Korsh, and I'm here to present research project Multimedia Technologies in Learning Braille Languages. The relevance of the research project. Digital technologies have become an integral part of our life, including such areas as school education and learning Braille language process. Information technologies have become an important and widely used all over the world, including Russia. The main aim of the research project is to create videos based on the fairy tale Baba Yaga. You can see the objectives of the research project on the slides. The object of the research project is the fairy tale Baba Yaga. The subject of the research project is the creation of the videos as well as making up a digital vocabulary list to chapters of it. We assume the students of the 6th grades in primary and secondary schools frequently use multimedia technologies in their lessons of English. Hence, listening to all original plot translated into another language might help to memorize new phonetic vocabulary, practice various grammar structures. The products of the research project are 1. 18 videos to each chapter and 2 digital vocabulary lists to each chapter. You can see the methods they used on the slides. In the theoretical part of the project work, we learned that about 15 years ago, multimedia technologies began to be actively used in the learning process. The first time they were used in 1886, then American schools received a textbook, Royal Multimedia Encyclopedia. We can also figure out that multimedia technologies combines text, graphics, audio, songs, music, and voice. Also, a special part of the informatization is training computer programs and applications. On this slide, you can see different types of them. practical part of our project work is based on the results of the survey we have conducted. 31 school children from the 6th grades were questioned. The aim of the survey was to find out how developed the use of digital technologies by the teachers in our school is, and the attitude of the school children to their use. The questions of the survey are depicted on the slides. On the slide, you can see the rest of the survey. Now let me go through the results of the survey. I'm going to have a look only at the most essential ones. The survey showed us that 60 of the pupils, that's 65%, think that concepts of multimedia and digital are equivalent terms, and only 11 of them, that's more of an effort, don't think so. The most effective multimedia technologies, according to the survey responses, are videos, presentations, and different games. As expected, the survey showed us that teachers of English actively use animation, sound, and audio. This tool was noted by 87% of respondents. Text, that's 84% of respondents, and presentation, that's 80% of them. At the same time, teachers of other subjects more actively use graphics and animations than teachers of English in our school. The most important in the survey for us was to see the fact that 87% of the respondents have a positive attitude to use the multimedia language learning process than traditional one, and only 13% of them don't think so. The results of the survey proved us that multimedia technologies are often used in English classes. Moreover, they were positively taken by the respondents to be included in curriculum and to be an integral part of learning a language at a young age. Having considered the fact that students have a positive attitude toward the use of digital technologies in their lessons of English, they have decided to create a product which will allow people to see the material they study. The previous year's project, as a home reading book, Russian fairy tale Baba Yaga, the Bonnie-Legged Witch, was taken as the basis for this year's product. The fairy tale was divided into 8 chapters and translated from Russian into English. Also, a vocabulary list with complex words was created to understand the fairy tale. This year, the text of the fairy tale was voiced by roles: Alpha, Baba Yaga, Cat Brother, and a girl. They made 8 attractive videos with sound effects. For this, they used CapCut application, that's a video editor, to create these videos. You can follow the QR codes to watch it. On the slide, you can also see QR codes to the rest of the chapters. On the slide, you can see vocabulary list to chapter 1. Here is a digital vocabulary. Как можно отправить? Here is a digital vocabulary to chapter 1 as an example how it looks like. They use the Quizlet platform to make 2-sided flashcards, which will allow people to deal with learning cards in different ways. The platform offers 6 learning modes that will allow people to learn new vocabulary. So despite its simplicity, it's very efficient and flexible. As a result of the study, we can conclude the use of digital technologies opens up new possibilities for both a teacher and a learner. The practical relevance of our project work is to use the created product, the book and the video, in classes or homeschooling that will enhance pupil motivation. The products can be used either together complementing each other or individually. The products can be modified according to individual capabilities of a pupil, as you can see, variations are rampant. Furthermore, having the created product they have now, we found the basis for the next stage of our project to create a computer game, Baba Yaga, the Bonnie-Legged Witch, which will allow people to complete various grammar challenges made by evil Baba Yaga and easily coded by the kind-hearted girl and her friends. The game is going to be created not for fun only, but with the purpose of learning a language, using the elements of gamification. Regarding our project work, that's all that I wanted to tell you. Now I will be happy to answer your questions.
Thank you, Elizaveta.
Please, why you chosen exactly Baba Yaga fairy tale? It's connected with Russian culture, but we're speaking in English and maybe why exactly Russian fairy tale?
Yeah, as I said earlier, my previous year's project was to translate the fairy tale into English and make one attractive video. And I have chosen the Baba Yaga because then I was in my childhood. It was my favorite fairy tale, and that's why I chose this.
I have one more question, please, about the illustration to the fairy tale.
Yeah.
I see that they are the same. They are from the internet. Who did it?
Yeah, in the book, yes, here is we have the pictures from the internet, but in our book, the girl in our school painted it for our projects.
Thank you. No question. This product is great.
Thank you.
I remember this is the second book, right?
Yeah.
Translated. Remind me which was the last one.
No, that's the one book we have translated, but they decided not to translate one more book, and they have decided to create a project about multimedia technologies because I think it's our future, and it's why I
Okay,
chose
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yes, now I remember. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was great.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No. Okay. Everyone, thank you for your presentations. I hope we'll see you again next year with your great works. And now the jury is going to start to give their points. It's going to take maybe 5 minutes. You can wait here, of course, and then we're going to have our ceremony of giving our diplomas to our winner and the rest of you. Thank you. The jury, please open your link for protocol. You can use your phone. If you have any problems with your protocol, message, please.
No, I haven't.
No problems, yes?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I have sent.
Anonymous Axolot.
Okay, dear colleagues, participants, we have the results. Thank you for waiting. So we'll start with our awardees, так называемые in Russian диплом призера. And first diploma of awardee. We're going to congratulate Kozlova Vera Kirillovna. And the second awardee is going to be Forrest Fedor. Let's congratulate. Yes. Great job. And mhm. Hmm? Okay. I want to. Okay. Now we have our winner. Let's congratulate Kursh Elizaveta Andreevna. Great job. The juries gave all fives. This is for you.
And I
Okay.
have one more diploma, but it's a diploma of the winner too. Actually, so Alon, you are the winner of our contest today. So our Chinese colleagues insist that you have to be in the final test, in the final presentation. So you are the winner too. Let's make it close.
Thank you very much. Okay, everyone, great job today. We hope to see you again next year with your great projects, maybe new book, yes, and some new Chinese words from you and the game and some attractions from London. We are really looking forward to it. Thank you very much and great job. Goodbye, everyone. See you.
Можно с вами сфотографировать? Я
Да.
учительница.